Yeah, it's as I joked about how the show fits in certain rooms. It's kind of like the roll of the dice, but it's a beautiful room. It's nice when the show fits simply into it. So that was a load off our backs for tonight, and then just grateful and feeling a little better. I was feeling pretty funky the last few days, but feeling like I'm on it. Anyways. So I call this a burning question time. I just thought after, you might have been waiting for 35 years to ask me a question. Do you have one?
Yeah. And actually probably close to that long ago. So I love the song Mrs. Callahan, and I would love to hear some of the backstory on Mrs. Callahan.
Oh my goodness. So Mrs. Callahan is a song off of Me Back, and which is now streaming again, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. But it is Mrs. Callahan, that's kind of an open book, but you got me, because it's personal in the sense that I always felt like I should have changed the name. I could have used somebody else's name, but Michael Callahan is a dear friend of mine, and he's had a rough go of it, and so that song was kind of on the nose, you know what I mean? I love the sound of it. I think it's the production, Emmanuel Karaoke did the production, and it's a really beautiful song. It's a heartfelt song. When I wrote that song, I went to the family because I didn't want it, I almost asked permission if they were okay with it, and they understood, and I grew up with the family. So, so I listened to that recently too because it's really a good question. Thanks. Yes, you always have questions. She always asks Jordan questions in the meet and greet.
Okay. You were talking about your den earlier, and I noticed you have quite a library in your den, so I want to know what your top 3 favorite books are.
Oh, 3 favorite books. All those books behind me are my wife's books. She's a voracious reader. She reads like crazy. I just finished Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Do you know that book?
Your story about it.
Yeah. It's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. It's really, really good. So that's a good one. I only read about maybe 2 or 3 books a year, maybe. More than a few years ago, I read War and Peace. Just to say I read War and Peace. Let's stick with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Hi.
If you were the host of Karaoke, which boy band group would you want in the band with you? And then the second one is who would be your all-time artist situation?
What boy band? Historically I've always said NSYNC, but I don't want to, we had one time with the Backstreet Boys and they were guys, and I'd probably say NSYNC because I just always thought they were funny. I always had a good sense of humor, and I love those guys, and especially Joey and Chris and Lance actually. Been very sweet, and saw Justin recently. I would say George Michael. Yeah.
Okay. You have kids. What kind of dating advice would you give them?
Dating advice? Not me. I was, just date. Because it was either let's go get married, or what was your name again? There was nothing in between. I know I would have traded. Let's go to dinner. We'll go, go to a movie. We'll do. I don't know. I had a certain kind of yes.
I'm so sorry, my bad English. I
Oh, hi.
I first heard your sing 38 with the block. And since then, your voice and your music have always been part of my life. How does it feel to know you work crosses borders and generations, give strength and hope to people like me, a little girl from a small town in Brazil who never stopped dreaming because of her songs? Sorry, my bad English.
Steve, she's from Brazil. Steve's wife is Brazilian. She speaks Portuguese. You're gonna speak a little Portuguese? She said she spoke perfect English. No, thank you so much. Obviously, I know the new kids. If I would have to say there was one country we should go to again, it's Brazil, because these guys, you've always been so supportive, and you're just a feisty bunch, and you're like, get out of here. But yeah, I think, we feel very lucky to have, done all the things we have done, and it's special that our music was able to, touch so many people, and we try not to, mess it up, I guess.
It's nice and 35 years in the making. I'm so excited to be here. But my question is very similar to the first one. One of my favorite songs off Freedom was Shut Up and Sing, and I really was interested in what the backstory for that is. What is that song?
Yeah, Shut Up and Sing is, who's singing it, where is it coming from, that kind of thing. It kind of says it all, for me. In the last few years, I was really kind of had a chip on my shoulder because I experienced all this autonomy again, like a couple of years ago as a solo artist, and it was like so important to me. And even being part of a group, everybody has their journey within that group. To carve out your own path is important for me. And specifically as it relates to this. It's just so, not to speak to everybody else's path in the group, but it's not like there's something else out there that feeds my soul the way this does, So, I wasn't really excited to do the last album. You know what I mean? I wasn't into it. I was sort of like, I kind of want to do my own thing. And Tommy was very patient, and I get it, we need you, let us know, all that stuff. It was great. But then, of course, as the universe would have it, Sean and I went all in that album and wrote 6 songs that are really important to me, and to be able to, contribute to the album. And then, of course, that was the catapult into really getting into my own album. So, the question is, can you have it? Can you have both, right? And I've been talking about that more and more. And it looks like I can, and it's all relative, and it's all how you look at it. Yeah, and I just think Shut Up and Sing is, I know it can seem like it's a pointed thing, right? But I think I'm saying it to myself lovingly. We all do that. It's like we know what our gifts are, we know what we bring to the table, we know when we're centered, we know when the world gets to us. And then, if we can just lock into like what we do best, without trying too hard, things kind of work out. It's not easy, but that's kind of, what that song is about for me. Thank you. Yes.
After the question, this might seem a little simple.
Thank
It
you.
has to do with new kids. So y'all play the classics and y'all play new songs. Is there a particular song that you have wanted to get on tour that's been shut down?
No, I don't think we'd ever. I think the good news is No, I don't think, if someone wanted to do a certain song, we never like shut it down. And at this point, we think, well, great, sure, so mix it up, you know? I don't think so. I mean, on the reverse, you know, there was that, you know, the song Pop off of Still Kids. We did that one night on tour. Yeah, but I didn't like it. Because in my mind, it was that. It was that version. You know? And even though it was that, and it was, what do you mean? You don't want to play your song for 15,000 people a night? Are you crazy? It's not how I saw it. And it didn't sit right. And like, they were cool with that too. They understood it. And it was like, thank you, we tried it, but I'm not feeling it. So, we're always trying to mix it up. You know, that's the fun part about making music, having a lot of music, new stuff, old stuff, is like how we, yeah. Couple more.
I just want to say thank you for doing this because it's absolutely amazing. I know that it seems like with you kids, you have fun, everything's great, but this is such a different side of you. So my question is, after you do phase 2, do you think that you will ever release like for people to watch online for those fans who didn't get to go see you, to actually showcase a little bit more of your talent?
I'll let you know a little secret. The Boston show is being filmed with 10 cameras, and it's going to be released. We're probably going to do it for charity. So, your answer is a big, fat, walking yes. In my hometown, Boston Village. Alright.
Alright, so they're asking about your songs. Obviously, we all love Please Don't Go Wrong, but is there a song that is your favorite to sing out of anything? Like, yours?
I mean, there's a lot of them, and it's a special one. I do love when I sing, Where Do I Go?
Oh, yeah.
I love your because there's something about how you sing that second line. So many, sir. Oh, that's a good question. I met Sean through Debbie Gibson, the great pop icon that was Debbie Gibson. So Debbie did a lot of Hallmark movies, and she did some in Canada. Sean was on one of those shows, and she immediately recognized that he had perfect pitch. She was like, "Do you have perfect pitch?" He was like, "Yep." And I was and they kind of hung out, and then eventually, a few years later, he was still only 18, but he started making music with Debbie. And then I slowly stole him away. But they still work together, and yeah, so I haven't heard a thing. Let's just take some selfies.
When is the next cruise?
When's the next cruise? We've never been on this cruise before. You're too young. I don't know.
Next
Don't ask me.
gen.
Don't ask me. All right, one more.
I saw you in Saratoga Springs last year, and you said you had Reese with you, and I was mesmerized because I was watching him doing your steps. So I decided, I think I watched him more.
Yeah.
So
He said, I don't know.
does he have any interest in doing music also? Or
Reese?
Griffin? Yeah.
That's my son Reese, and he was on tour with us for a little while. And actually, John gets such a kick out of him because he's very comfortable, and he's like, who's he standing next to tonight? He walks up and he's standing next to some blockheads and he's having a good time. He loves playing the drums. He loves theater. He's into theater like me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Griffin is some serious stuff, so I don't know if Reese sees it as that kind of activity, but anyways. Selfies! Love you.